love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the last episode of this season's The Podcast. I guess we're calling this season 1. It's technically season 2 of this whole shebang-a-lang, but it's different name, season 1. Final episode of going into the Super Bowl this weekend. We only got Brandon and I so far tonight. There's a chance somebody else might pop on, but we don't know. Anyway, we're going to get her done, get her out of here. And Brandon, do you have anything specific that you want to chat about this episode?
Just effing chat. Tune into the new pod. Nice seeing you.
Oh, goodness.
We haven't done the pod since 2023.
That is true. Had a couple of things run in there that made it a little difficult to sit down and record. Between getting married, having a honeymoon, and there's a couple of little things in there that made it a little difficult to do it. And then we got off our track, and then we got into the postseason. Not as much exciting stuff happening. But how do you feel about 49ers and Chiefs being in there?
I think it's a good matchup. I know I wanted to see the Lions and the Browns, but I
wanted to see the Lions in there in general.
I think a lot of people have their
once Green Bay went out,
why they don't want people in the Super Bowl. And I think Taylor Swift is a really dumb reason. I mean, that's why I can't be an NFL fan, because these fans take too much stock into it. It's like, go on with your life. Like, you have nothing else better to do but to complain about Taylor Swift. Like, she's making so much money for the NFL and the Chiefs. Like,
and vice versa.
You don't have to interact with it. You don't have to pay attention to it. People act like you're force-fed this, but you're not.
I was like, you don't have to watch the Chiefs games if you don't want to see Taylor. Or you got to force
the whole
you
thing
to watch
about
Super Bowl.
The whole thing about Taylor Swift going to make it because she has a concert like in Japan. I'm like, I don't care about, but at least it gives you talk other than the same old Super Bowl talk about matchups, because they start talking about things that has nothing to do with the game. It's like,
it's true.
You're like comparing.
I will say though,
managers now.
I will say though that I have seen a breakdown of her travel, and she should be able to get there a full day before the game.
Apparently, she took a jet today within the same city to another airport, and people were like complaining about it because like all these people on Twitter somehow are able to track her private flights, and she's like, quit stalking me because they could track her flights. And it's like, why did she take a jet flight to another airport within the same? It's either in the same city or the same state or something like that, and it costs like this much amount of gas and this much amount of fuel and this much amount of pollution to the air. It's just like,
yeah, you have to.
I get it. If you're
you have to care about our gasoline burning vehicles.
Yeah, it's just like.
Well, I don't know. And I'm like, also, to be fair, there's a good chance she drove around the state, and so the plane just took off and landed to go pick her up wherever she was at that point. Well, and air traffic control stuff is public information.
Yep. Saying to you right now. But, I mean, I think it'd be funny if she was, they plan this years in advance, but that'd be funny if she was like the halftime show and the national anthem singer. Like, that would be awesome. I don't think there's ever been a performer that's done both, but I don't think that'd be good business for anybody.
I just saw what you sent me. That's funny.
They want two different performers for the national anthem and the halftime. That makes more sense, obviously. But I don't know. I look forward to the Super Bowl because the commercials, but like I said, there haven't been a lot of good commercials in the last few seasons. I say really 7 plus. Because when I was growing up, before, you had CRT TVs, you had the best commercials. Like, people would tune in Super Bowl just for the commercials. But nowadays, commercials just, the latest video game, the latest TV show, the latest movie trailer. It's just like, that's what people are tuning in. It's not about the commercials anymore. Like, some commercials are okay, but like last year, there's not one commercial I remember that was like, I love it.
It's true. Very true.
But it's different era, different time.
There's like I can't remember a good Super Bowl commercial since the hamsters, to be quite honest.
Actually, I don't even remember that unless I watch it. But I remember
It
like
was
the
it was
Budweiser
the it
Clydesdales,
was the
the
Kia
Bud Light
Soul
Magic
hamsters.
Fridge, all those ones.
There was a Dorito
'Cause
one a year or two
you
ago
had
that
like
went through
yeah,
that.
yeah, Doritos. You had like the Taco Bell dog. And you had the Budweiser frogs. Obviously, a lot of beer commercials, but like the one of the funniest ones I remember was seeing like the Bud Light, the Magic Fridge. That thing was like probably 10 years old, and that still is probably the funniest commercial I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it's a Magic Fridge. But I don't know. It's because of the whole Bud Light thing, and I don't even know if Bud Light's
Yeah.
still the official beer of the NFL. But it's just like
No,
the
I have.
commercials is just there
It's
to just
interesting
be there now.
as I've seen a couple of things where Bud Light might be trying to turn themselves around. They fired everybody who had to do with that whole marketing scheme that got all fucked up.
It's just a scapegoat. It's a cop out.
Oh,
Oh, like,
it's
oh,
very
it's
true.
a separated incident. We don't control what happens in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I'm like, you're a company. You telling me you guys have negligence?
Right. I think that someday it'll come back around.
Oh well, sidetracked. I I'll watch the Super Bowl, but like I said, I'm not a huge NFL guy like I used to be because I just can't stand watching the games with 3 hours of commercial, and so
It's true.
it's a watered down product. Can't hit anymore with
No, I
either side
will
of the
say.
ball. They're taking away special teams. It's just like what's the point of watching NFL now? You got all these inflated
Oh,
athletes with inflated stats. It's like
speaking of
duh, you're gonna
special
have 20
teams,
sacks.
did you hear what they're thinking about doing with the kickoff?
Yeah, going XFL.
Which I actually kind of enjoyed the XFL version.
Well, they're talking about the rules committee was talking about in the season since the returns are down. They're like, yeah, we're gonna start taking away the touchback rule because if you fair catch on the kickoff within the 20-yard line,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
It's a
fair catch.
touchback. Yeah,
It's a touchback.
right,
But they're like, no, you're taking away the exciting part of the game. Now people aren't tuning in for this part.
right, right. No, it's 100% true. You know, I
But
think,
like you're taking away people's jobs now. It's like people
well,
think they're just thinking in terms of TV viewership and player
right,
safety, but you're taking away people's jobs who don't have multi-year contracts and whose job is to go on special teams. It's just like they're not
very
thinking
true.
about from the player's perspective. They're thinking about from a corporate perspective and the player or the people sitting on their couch or the bar's perspective. They're not thinking about their actual players who are playing the game and their product. That's the
True.
issue.
Well, that's why I like the XFL rule because it's still, quote unquote, relatively safe, as what they claim they're wanting to try to do. But you still get that return. You still get the kick. It's still a kickoff.
Yeah, that's why the XFL is still football. They're not even the USFL. They're not.
Right. Anyway,
Yeah,
now
they
the
want player
XFL
safety, but they're not worried
or
about
the
their
UFL. Sorry.
they're not worried about their image.
Right. It's true. And
NFL's all worried about their image.
which is that's a nice turnaround right now to get away from that crap.
So I'm
But
excited for the spring league, even though it's only 8 teams, but at least it's four of the XFL and four of the USFL. I think they're playing in
no,
two different
it's
stadiums.
5 XFL, 3 USFL,
Oh, is
and
it?
just one of the XFL teams switched to the USFL conference.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
only
I
three
saw the.
teams from the
I like
USFL.
the. I like the. I like the announcement of all the. I like each team's announcement of their schedule release. It was very creative. One was
Mm-hmm.
SpongeBob,
Yep.
and the DC Defenders did theirs on the beer snake, but they just did the beer cups with post-it notes, and the post-it notes were funny. It was funny. It was like descriptive terms of each team that they're playing
I think
that
we're going to
week.
try to go to one this season.
Oh, that's gonna be good prices. Like season
So,
tickets are like dirt cheap. Like you'd be
so
dumb not to get season tickets.
I'm excited to say that my XFL team that I rooted for the last 2 seasons that they've played made it into the
Yep,
UFL, which
yep.
was the Renegades. No, yeah, no, yes,
Battlehawks.
no, Renegades. Battlehawks was USFL. That is my wife's team because she's from St. Louis.
I thought they were
Um,
XFL.
no,
St. Louis
oh no,
Battlehawks.
yeah, no, you're right, you're right. I'm sorry. And
I
they
was gonna
made
say I
it.
knew someone who worked there
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
first one.
and they made it. We were excited for that. Um, but my USFL team didn't make it. I was kind of sad to see that. It was the New
Yeah.
Orleans Breakers. To
Oh, with
me,
Jay Adams.
well, I don't know where he ended up or if he stayed or not, but all the players and staff or just absorbed by the other teams?
Well, they had it to where they did a smart move to where each USFL and XFL team they got to claim like dibs on X amount of players per team.
Right,
Then
they
all
did
the
like a
people
little
that
in-house draft kind of deal.
but then like if you didn't make I guess your team's cut, you're technically for free agent. So
Right.
you didn't just have complete chaos. There's some order. And the XFL UFL page keeps daily transactions. So if you go through their social media, they always talk about transactions and saying guys that they signed. So it's still relative. You just gotta follow it.
Right. Let's see if I can see anything on Jonathan Adams. See what he's up to. Looks like. Okay, he transferred to the Memphis Showboats, which was my other
Okay,
USFL
so
team.
he's gonna be back home in a way.
Yeah. He'll be very close to home. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to see he's actually still in.
Yeah, I just wonder how the pay structure is in the new league.
What I loved to see was how many of the players from the XFL or USFL actually went to the NFL this past season.
Well, the XFL, if you go to the XFL's, both pages, if you go to both USFL and XFL page and you scroll back, it's just like college signings, recruiting. They show all the guys that got signed to the NFL.
Right.
And it's like not like a clumped up post. They show each individual, just like a school would show their players going to NFL. It's the same thing. They show all that. Both leagues did it, so it's cool. I don't know though, because this happened for a couple months, but the indoor football league, the IFL, they had a partnership with the XFL where the IFL players could have their own little combine to go to the XFL. They pipelined a lot of the IFL guys to the XFL, but that was off season. But a season never happened, so I don't know if that's still a thing. Like I have no idea. Like
Yeah.
I because obviously their contract was with the XFL, not the UFL. But those players that got signed from the indoor league, and a lot of them did get signed. There's a ton of the indoor football guys that got signed to go play, to at least go to the XFL tryouts. But we don't know if they made it yet, unless you really keep up with those guys.
So what's
But
going to be very interesting is that week 1 of the UFL, for the most part, is old XFL teams playing against old USFL teams. So the first game at 1 p.m. Saturday, March 30th, it's the two champions from last year going head to head. The Birmingham Stallions, Arlington Renegades. And then you have St. Louis Battlehawks going against Michigan Panthers. And then DC Defenders against the San Antonio Brahmas. And then you have the Showboats versus Houston Roughnecks. And if I am correct, the San Antonio Brahmas are the ones that used to be an XFL team and switched to the USFL conference in the merger.
yeah, that'd be fun to watch. I think I was hoping to be more teams than 8 because I was hoping like
That's what I was kind of
all
thinking.
8.
I wish they would have. At first, I was excited it was going to be 2 8-team conferences.
Yep.
That's what I was truly hoping for. But I did read something that they kind of needed to merge the teams some because of how many staff and players they lost to NFL and retirement and stuff.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have enough people to form the teams, but I guess it would be. I was hoping it'd just be more teams because there'd be more open availability for jobs. That's what I was thinking.
Now, to be fair, as the years and the seasons go on and it becomes more popular, they'll probably bring some of those teams back.
Yep.
If I'm being honest. Now, what's funny is that there's 3 out of the 8 teams are in Texas.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. It's so Texas is so big, and you got so many stadiums that can hold people.
Well, and all the teams that are left, there's only 2 of them that aren't Southern teams.
They're doing everything that NFL fans want. There's less commercials. There's fast gameplay, like the clock. Like it's football. You're not going to be all these penalties. They literally review like
On the
anything's
fly.
reviewable, and they do it. That you see it. All the refs are mic'd up, or at
I
least the head guy
love
is,
that.
and you see
Listening
their
to
replay
Dan
system.
Bandino. Ooh, I love
You
watching
see
him.
Dean,
Dean.
but
Yeah.
you see well both. You had at USFL, you had Mike Herrera, then you
Right.
had Blandino, the XFL, but both of them are using live replay. You can see them in the booth, and both of them have like a minute to make the decision.
I
And you
think
actually hear
it's
the refs
funny.
talk about it.
The
So
guy
it's
with the
just like,
USFL does a better job at reffing all the games of the USFL by himself. And he's
we're a team
he's
of
the lead
people.
of the NFL referee conference or referee whatever you want to call him.
Well, I mean, they have a team. It's not like one guy.
It's true,
Just
but
a guy that
still,
talks in the broadcast.
he still does better by himself. Hell, Dean Bandino does. I think it's Bandino.
Blandino.
However you say it. Dean does better by himself with the XFL than any of the NFL
He was in
coaches
the
ever do.
NFL for he was in the NFL for a long time. He's one of the few
He still
OGs
is.
left.
He still is.
Like one of the few left.
Yeah.
Like all the good ones left.
So it's just interesting to see, and I think
NFL doesn't want to admit to going to that style because it just means that like they're admitting that their project's wrong, and the startup league's project is better, and they just don't want to admit to that. You know, it's like
true.
they
But
don't
what's
they don't they don't
interesting
want
about
to.
that is they use the XFL and USFL to test stuff out before bringing it to the NFL.
Where do you think the Skycam came from? Came from the
I
XFL.
know. I
A lot of people
know.
don't know that. They're like, oh, the Skycam image is amazing. It's like, you can thank the XFL for that.
And then I love the XFL. And the USFL using
But
the
it's like
drones.
it's what football like should still be.
Right.
Instead of, like yeah, they're not gonna allow you to missile your way into someone's head like it used to.
Yeah, right. They're
But
not going to allow you to be
they're
stupid and
but it's
reckless.
still letting you to be they're letting you still be hit more
Still physical
than the
football.
NFL.
Yeah.
The NFL, a couple of years ago took out the crackback block on both sides. If you get a pick six, you can't blindside the guy. And obviously, if you're on offense, you can't blindside the guy. I get it.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking the whole saying get your head on the swivel that's been around for decades out of the game. And I don't think it's cheap. I just think it's just part of the game.
Oh, do you think players looking up and watching themselves on the Jumbotron, do you think that should be illegal? Question mark.
You cut out. You cut out the whole time.
Yeah, you did too. I was saying, do you think people running down the field and watching themselves on the Jumbotron, do you think that should be illegal?
No, I don't see how that's illegal because every stadium has different jumbotrons and no one has the same. And some only have one, and some are just ribbon board. Like, I think you can't ref that. Like, yeah, you have people are running down on the kickoff or punt return, and they can see who's chasing behind them, and they can make a move. They talk about it all the time on their pressers.
It's true.
I was looking at the jumbotron.
Yeah, because I think it was the last game that the 49ers played. I remember watching, I think it was George Kittle, who got a big, long run off to the end zone. And he's sitting there, see him running in slow motion. You just see him looking up at the Jumbotron and making his cuts based off of that. Just an interesting thing to think about compared to like football back in the day where they didn't have those.
Well, they had jumbotrons, but they just weren't high def.
Not in old school football days.
Well, it depends how far back you go. I mean, they had jumbotrons has been a thing.
They've been a thing.
You just gotta go before that.
If you want to go back to the beginning. But like even I think at the Dallas Cowboys, their only jumbotrons are there in the center, so I don't even think the players could even actually see them.
Yeah, and I don't know what they use at Old Texas Stadium, but I mean that's not a thing though. That doesn't happen all the time.
No.
And even if you are in a long break, you're not always looking at the jumbotron.
Oh, they're the size they are at the freaking Tennessee Titans stadium. It'd be hard not to look at
Oh,
it.
the new one that they're building. Yeah,
That thing's gonna be
everyone's
pretty.
getting bigger and badder ones. I think the Ravens have one of the biggest ones because that's new.
Yeah, they're
And the
definitely.
49ers are about to. I think the 49ers are about to put in a curve screen, like a huge curve screen. Like SoFi has their curve thing, but like there's someone. It's either the 49ers or somebody else about to put a curve, almost like a curved wide monitor
Right.
at the end of their stadium. And that's like, geez, this is gonna cover more seats, but you're gonna take out seats. It's just like you can't have both.
True. How they just raise every seat up $1 and they'll cover it.
Yeah, I couldn't go to an NFL game even if I had free tickets because I just can't do the whole sitting. Like I'm not.
I will say.
After doing sideline stuff forever, I can't just go to a game and look at a little field. Like I can't do it. Being surrounded by millions of people, I can't do it.
Okay, so what's funny is
Waiting in lines and walking, I can't do it.
we got nosebleed seats at the game that we went to over New Year's. It was a lot of fun. But I purposely, other than price, I purposely chose seats up at the top because that's where I'm used to watching my football games. I'm used to being
You're also far away from the restrooms and stuff.
No, I had restrooms literally right underneath me.
Oh.
Because they had sub levels up at the top.
Yeah, but you're not watching from that high up. You're watching for your viewfinder. You're not literally watching from that high up.
It actually wasn't that high. Because it's set up a lot like
your viewfinder though.
No. I watched the actual people more often than I looked at the jumbotrons.
Oh. He's just used to wide punts.
There you go. I could have gotten a real wide punt. No, it was a good one. It was fun. We sat on the 50-yard line at the tippy top. Close to the tippy top.
Was anyone there?
It was damn near sold out, it felt like. It wasn't sold out.
Yeah.
It ended up getting a lot more packed around the second quarter because the Titans were doing really good. And so a lot of people
wanted to see Derrick Henry for the last time, probably. So that's probably why they went.
And not only that, it was Henry for the last time. It was the head coach for the last time. The quarterback for the last time.
Well, they didn't know the coach was going to be gone.
Yeah, they had a good.
People knew Derrick Henry's last game was probably going to be that.
They had a good idea.
But they had no idea that no one had any idea Vrabel was going to get let go. Like no one saw that coming. Like even like behind the scenes, people leaking stuff that was never a thing. Like people were like what?
I actually love Vrabel.
Oh yeah, and the reason why one NFL exec said he didn't get hired because I don't know if this is real, but everyone was talking about it. How he was, such a big human being. They're intimidated. Discrimination.
That should be a good factor. You scared
That's discrimination. No, NFL is a private organization, so I don't know if they have to follow. I don't know if they have to follow standard hiring practice rules, but that's literally discrimination. Like you could twist that in court and say, well, it's not literally not like a race thing, but like, oh, we don't like you because you're not tall enough, or you're not, wide enough, or you have too many eyelashes. Like you can name so many things about that.
Did you hear what the?
But I think someone has said that as a cop out. They weren't serious.
Oh yeah.
They didn't want to give a real answer about why they didn't hire Vrabel, so they just made up an answer. I think that's what it is.
Did you hear what the new hired head coach of the Patriots said? This like the second after they hired him.
Oh yeah, Gerard Mayo.
Yeah, how he was going to bring black people into the game more and kick out.
No, his stuff got taken out of context.
No, he damn near said it word for word.
No, you got to watch the whole press conference.
I did. I listened to him all the way.
You watched it live?
Yeah.
No, he got baited.
I mean, I don't disagree, but he pretty much straight up said he was going to replace. He wanted to get all the white boys out of the black boys game.
NFL needs to take out the Rooney Rule because that's That's even worse. You have to interview a minority candidate before you make a hire. So a lot of these guys are formalities. They're like, hey, you're just my checklist for today. Check. Okay, now we can hire the guy.
Right.
You gotta take that out. So whatever Gerard Mayo said, I don't care. I'm for it. God, like Mike Zimmer just got hired to be the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator. That dude's like in the 60s or 70s, and he's still in the NFL. Like you have all these old dudes in the NFL who just bounce around. Like Vic Fangio was the Dolphins DC for like a year or two. That he got let go, and he automatically got picked up, I think, by Philly. I'm like, he hasn't even gone for a week, and he has a job. It's like you have all these old dudes going around the NFL, just going from job to job to job to job, whether they're fired or not. They still getting paid, and you're not letting open up doors for like new coaches to come. Come on, man. That's just like, well, that's like the ultimate job security. It's just old. Even fans are like, why do we hire coaches who's been bouncing around the whole league? It's just like, fans say it all every year with these coaches. I don't know. NFL is just so old school. Not old school, but I guess they don't keep up with the times. It's just like, what's the point?
I think they're too worried. Then again, they're too worried about their
They're
image.
trying to get people to get their stories and shit.
No,
Like,
yeah,
they're trying to make a story that's something for nothing just to get their engagement, so they can get paid off their websites or whatever, or social media. They want to get it's just a story for people to click on, I guess.
well, and
Not necessarily clickbait, but something to people to engage with.
well, and it's the same problem that is every problem with the NFL right now.
Like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift,
all too worried
hate
about their
engagement
image.
is good engagement.
True.
But I don't know. If people can't see past that, then they pry on the people who can't see past it. They want people who are just like the ones to quickly snap and make a comment. They're preying on those people to do it because they know they would do it. People with regular jobs. That's what I think.
Well, they're too all caught up in their image, and they want to make
Well, it's
their
good for business.
checklist of what they can and get. Not really,
We have
not anymore.
20,000 people a day engaged with our social media. 20,000 eyes. And, Subway is going to come and go, well, we would like to have those 20,000 eyes on our product. So I'm going to partner with the NFL.
Yes, but right now I think it's hurting them more than it was benefiting them before.
Yeah, NFL is releasing up all their player and coach of the year stuff. Texans swept rookie of the years. That's hard, man. I think the Texans and the Rams should have split. Puka Nacua and CJ. You can't say one was better than the other. That's just hard. Like Puka. Come on, man.
Texans were fun.
He set
to watch.
records. Like he set records as rookies. He has the most receiving yards as a rookie. I don't know about catches. I don't think he has catches because I think Anquan Bolden still has that. He had like 100-something catches as a rookie, but he broke the rookie receiving record. But he was doing more than that. I don't know. Coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski. I can see that. He brought his team to the playoffs with Joe Flacco off the couch, and he had like all these injuries. So yeah, it's a
Flacco was fun to watch there.
I can see D'Amico Ryan's getting coach of the year because it's his first year coaching, and heck, he brought the Texans to the playoffs and won the game and won the division. I get that. So I still think it should be because you can't say one coach did a better job than the other. I don't know. But that's what all these fans are arguing about. Oh, blah 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 blah, sugar, blah blah blah. That NFL doesn't care. They just want your engagement because it looks good. Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey, no question about that. They haven't released MVP yet. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. That was a hard one to toss. TJ Watt could have got it, but I think he was hurt too much to be qualified. Even though the times that he was in it, he was on fire.
He didn't even play like the last 6 games, and he still led the. He had
I think he had
the
like three
leading
sacks for the
sacks.
49ers week one, and the Steelers got blown out by the 49ers, and he had like 3 sacks, but like he got hurt all year, so I get it. And plus, people want to look at stats and sacks, but no, there's so many Myles Garrett film that I've watched. He's like splitting double teams and shit like that, like on the run game. Like
Yeah.
that's defensive player. It's not just I got 20 sacks. Well, how's he gets to? He's commanding triple teams on the run.
Yeah.
It's not just getting to the quarterback. It's the game planning. Hey, you're taking up blockers, so the linebackers are going to make plays. That's a defensive player.
So, do you think that this is one of the bigger coaching changes that the NFL has seen in a hot minute?
No, people say that every year. There's a lot of people that got crazy coaching change in hires. Oh, never mind. Hold up. Devin Hester's in the Hall of Fame finally. Andre Johnson, Dwight Freeney, Peppers, Patrick Willis, Steve McMichael, Randy Grashier. I don't know who that is. That's a good class, though. It's a solid class. These are guys I grew up watching. Yeah, Hester finally making it to the Hall of Fame is like awesome. But seeing things people are going to debate about that. They're like, oh, they're going. Like, guys, you have nothing to do with the Hall of Fame voting. Just don't complain. Because the NFL honors are on. I don't watch that because I think it's just a show. But that's the only
So,
time they announce their awards. But yeah, Devin Hester, that's awesome. I still think Puka should have been split with C.J. Stroud.
so 2021 tied for the biggest or highest number of NFL coaches ever to be replaced in a single season.
Like off season or like total? Because some coaches
Like
get
throughout,
replaced during the season too.
like
Like
during the
interim coaches.
season, like during the season playoffs,
Yeah.
and it was they had 10 coaches were replaced in 2021.
What's the day for the Bears? 3 Bears getting in. That's crazy. Julius Pepper should claim the Carolina Panthers, but still, he still had a good enough sacks with him. But yeah, I'm happy for Hester. Like, to say he didn't deserve it. I mean, special teams is a third of the game.
Trying to see, I saw something else pop up was saying who what head coach has been fired the most.
Oh God. Yep, Julius Peppers is on the
Apparently,
Panthers.
Marty
First two.
Schottenheimer was fired at least 4 times.
Oh yeah, a lot.
So apparently, he was fired from the Browns, Chiefs, Redskins, and Chargers.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, Brock Purdy's not very good," and I'm like,
Okay, he's
and
good.
Tom Brady's like, I wasn't good until like my 4th year, and people were like, it's like Tom Brady was like even admitted like I would have been out of the NFL. These people don't allow them to develop. People aren't good till like their 3rd, 4th year. That's what it used to be. And people want instant success. I'm like, how you gonna have instant success? You just got done playing college and now you start to be an all-pro as a rookie? That's
Yeah.
BS. That's just a fan. It's just
I will
fans
say
talking.
I think Purdy is a little overhyped, but he's not bad by any means. He's good, but Tim the Tap Man explained it the best the other day. I saw on social media. He has a little stuffed animal penguin on his desk, and he goes, "This right here is Brock Purdy, all season." He points at his penguin. He goes, "That's George Kittle," and he just kind of like tosses something at him, smacks the little stuffed animal in the face. He goes, "Touchdown." Okay, that's literally Purdy's success right there, and I don't disagree to that. Like right now he's no Aaron Rodgers, he's no Pat Mahomes, he's no
But it doesn't matter. He's winning football games.
I don't think
Like,
it's
you want
because
him to throw picks?
I don't think it's because of him. They just have
No,
an
they just don't like the way
they
they
just
don't
have
like
an
the way he
all
plays.
around good football team.
Yeah, but people complain about Brock Purdy, but like, okay, Jimmy Garoppolo played in that system for the last 2, 3 years, 4 years, and he got replaced because he wasn't that good, and he wasn't playing that well.
Well, you could also kind of blame that coaching staff that they had back then.
It's the same staff.
Yeah, but even the staff has to grow
Mike
and
McDaniels
develop.
came from it. Mike McDaniels was coaching. Now he's the head coach of the Dolphins, and he did really well too. He made Tua a Pro Bowler, and Tua wasn't a Pro Bowler before. They
Yeah,
lost all
but
these
he also did
coordinators
better
every
on his
year.
own as a head coach than he ever did as an assistant.
What are you talking about? He was an offensive coordinator for the Niners. Niners keep losing. They lost all these two defensive coordinators in a row and an offensive coordinator, and they still do well in the league. Or they finally start to do well for losing all these coordinators.
That's what I'm saying. The
But it's
Dolphins
just
head coach
like,
is doing better now as a head coach than he was as an assistant.
well, how you even track that? Like, he was an assistant. Like,
He's
you
in
got to do
it.
what the head coach says.
I just think from where he was and where he is now and what he's done with the Dolphins is more impressive and more tactful in his direction.
He beat the shit out of your Packers, like what 300 yards rushing in the NFC Championship game. Because Mike
Yeah.
McDaniels was the run game coordinator and the
True.
offensive coordinator. But uh, no, when people are like, oh, he's a check down guy, blah blah blah. Like, people forget that, like, I think when the
I wouldn't
Patriots
call
won the
him a
Super
check
Bowl
down guy.
versus the Patriots won the Super Bowl versus the Falcons in the 28-3 game. I think the running back James White that year or in that game had like a Super Bowl record for like catches for a running back. He had like
Yeah.
14 catches or something. How do you think he got those catches? He wasn't running like flies down the seam. So you want to
Well,
try to say
what I think is
Charlie? Tom
funny,
Brady did it.
people.
Tom Brady did it. What, you want him, Tom Brady, not to do it?
I think it's
Like,
funny people complaining about checkdowns when
they're
a lot of
freaking
times.
guys. They're JV players who don't even play the
Well,
NFL.
two reasons why they shouldn't complain about checkdowns. One, they got the ball to somebody that was open, and it was better
It's
than
the
just taking
Christian
a sack.
McCaffrey. Who wouldn't do that?
But then also, half the plays are designed to be a quote unquote check down.
Roll for the option.
Right.
That's how you check down like there's nothing left to do but to check it down. I'm like, you're checking it down to Christian McCaffrey or to a weapon.
Right. Well, and you would rather check it down than take the sack or throw it away. I'd take
Yeah.
2 or 3 yards off a check down instead of just
Yeah.
throwing the ball out of bounds.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, because it was outrageous this year, I think they need to get stricter on the intentional grounding rules.
Yeah.
They, to me, are way loose. And the quarterbacks this season, especially Patty Mahomes, really pushed that envelope to the very edge of what isn't considered a intentional grounding.
Yeah, it's a judgmental thing.
It is, but I think they really. I think they need to get rid of the the quarterback box as far as the intentional
The
grounding goes.
tackle box.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it's like I think the USFL, the XFL didn't have it, or maybe both of them didn't have it.
Yeah, I don't think they did. It was intentional grounding in or outside
This
that
is
tackle
this
box.
is just a cheap move.
It is. It's really to me it's a cowardly play.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't care if you're running out. If you at the end of the day you make all this movement just to throw it 10 yards in front of somebody and get it out of bounds, that's intentional grounding.
I'll also say one more thing about the Hall of Fame. This is a defensive Hall of Fame because when you're on special teams, you're getting the ball because, I mean, someone just scored, so they gotta get the ball back to you. Andre Johnson is a receiver, obviously from the U, but Dwight Freeney, Peppers, Willis, Steve McMichael, and there's Randy Brashear. And Hester played DB in college. And it is a defensive thing because, you go on defense force someone to punt, and he has to go be a punt return.
True.
But yeah, it's a defensive Hall of Fame. That's solid.
Okay. Okay,
No
so
coach though.
I'm going to give my hot take at the podcast. I'm more excited about the start of the UFL than I am the Super Bowl this weekend.
Oh yeah, who's your pick? I don't have a pick because I don't care.
I truly don't care between these teams, but I really don't want the Chiefs to win.
I just want to see Easton go bonkers.
It would be great for him to go berserk.
Should live stream it.
I think it would be awesome if the Chiefs lost to a walk-off field goal.
Oh no! I don't know. People, you can't, and people like bring these questions up, and I get it, but there's no point. People are like, oh, what about the last time you guys played? These are two completely different teams. Like, there's very few players that played in the last Super Bowl, and even if the teams for some reason had the same rosters, you wouldn't look at film from 4 years ago. Now, coaches do watch old film, but they wouldn't watch a Super Bowl from 4 years ago. That's a whole different thing.
True.
So that has nothing to do with them playing against each other. My only thought was, are the Chiefs going to do something special like they did the last time? Because the last time we played against the 49ers, they did like a single wing offense, the wing T stuff, and they also did like speed option and stuff you didn't see in the NFL. You're like, oh, they brought like a high school players to the Super Bowl because those work in the NFL because they're not used to covering those plays in the NFL because you haven't covered those plays since you're in high school. But I don't know if the Chiefs are going to do that because they weren't as creative this year as they've been in the years past with the enemy.
No, this year they were just trying
like
to
what's
get
that
by.
one? What's that one they ran like 2 years ago or a year ago? Or it's like 2 years. Mahomes was in motion and Kelsey took the snap and he was about to run it, but then he threw a screen.
Yeah.
Like it was against the Raiders and it was like a ring around the Rosie formation.
Yeah.
And so, and because Travis Kelsey was a former quarterback for Butch Jones his freshman year at Cincinnati. So Travis Kelsey can throw the ball. He's not just some tight end.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the Chiefs are going to do anything special with that.
They might do one or two. I don't think it would be an ongoing thing.
But, I mean, 49ers shouldn't care.
They haven't been that creative other than that
up.
one play that they got a touchdown with Kelsey throwing it, even though he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
But it got called back because they were offsides.
The Chiefs haven't been running it as much as they have been in the past, but they always do like those underhand shovel passes. Yeah. It's a shovel toss, but it's just the way Mahomes does it. He does an underhand instead of like a flick. But I think it's gonna be a good Super Bowl because they're both different teams. They're not even the same teams that they were 4 years ago.
True.
I mean, the 49ers had the lead in the game, and they just I think the 49ers last time they lost it because they just couldn't, the offense couldn't stay on the field. Like, your offense has to sustain drives. I mean, they were up by like 10 points, I think in the fourth or something like that,
I think that's right.
And Mahomes didn't have, I know, but that was Mahomes' second or third year in the league, and only second year starting, and he didn't have like a miraculous game. He didn't have like a great Super Bowl.
That was only his third season.
Yep, but his second year starting because he didn't play his first year. Well, he played, but he played mop-up duty. Why
do I feel like Mahomes has been in the league so much longer?
2017. And it's funny, the whole thing, the AFC Championship game, like the like his dad bod Mahomes was like, oh, what you guys said the and like during the media day at Super Bowl, he was like, yeah, I have a six-pack, it's just underneath all that skin. But like it was funny though that Mahomes' dad bod was going around because like when I was with the Chiefs, it was Mahomes' first year starting, and like he looked the exact same. I'm like, damn, this first round pick's like looking like a dad bod. Like he's still looking like a college frat guy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but it's like looks aren't everything. He's athletic as fuck. So it's funny.
He to me is the most annoying player in the NFL right now.
Oh, I was gonna say something, but this is a public podcast.
Write it down. Save it till when we're done.
Nope, because it's gonna be clickbait.
No, I don't.
No
Don't compromise people like that.
Anyways, so.
Oh goodness! All right, give your wild ass prediction. Who's gonna win?
Oh, I think that's gonna be hard. I think it's gonna be one possession either team. I can't say. I think the Chiefs or the 40 obviously either team can beat each other, but I think it's gonna be by one possession. And what I mean by possession, I mean literally possession, either a field
Yeah.
goal possession or a touchdown possession.
Yeah, it's going to be decided by the last team going down there and either not making it or making it.
And I don't see a blowout. If it's gonna be a blowout, it has to be injuries or bad calls. But I don't see a blowout if like the game is played fair.
And I only
Let's
see
say
a
like that.
blowout in
I
the
see the biggest
49ers'
blowout I
favor.
see is 14 points. I don't see anything above 14.
Yeah. If it's going to be a blowout, it's going to be the 49ers blowing out the Chiefs, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I say a blowout loosely. I really think 14 is the highest.
Yeah.
But I don't. It could be 59-10. I mean, if 49ers back in 1989, they beat the Broncos like 55-10. It's like still like the
True.
most lopsided victory in the Super Bowl.
It's
Even the
very true.
85 Bears didn't go 55-10. But like I don't know. It's gonna be a good game. And a lot of people, NFL's Goodell. I don't know if it's true, but Goodell says there's gonna be 200 million people tuning in. But I don't know if that means streaming or he just means TV. Like I have no idea.
Probably just watching in general, because you got to remember, there's the Swifties coming in to watch it. You got all the kids on Nickelodeon watching.
Yeah, but I'm like the legal streams, the bars, like
I did.
like
He's probably considering
I
all
don't.
of
Does
them.
it mean 200 devices are going to be on, or like 200 people? He probably means 200 devices, because that's a lot of people. Because if you had 200 TVs on, you're going to have at least 10 people watching the TV. So 10 times 200 million.
Yeah, but there's also tons of people that are sitting around watching by themselves. I would
Yeah.
assume probably it's a
I think
guesstimation.
it means devices.
No,
It
I
has
bet
to
you.
be.
I bet you means people. They take into consideration of. Well, I mean, hell, they can calculate how many people are legally allowed in every bar that has the license to play the games.
It's a fire hazard. You can't have too many people in the bar.
Right. I mean, like they. I mean, they can see that stuff. Like when they sell a bar, ESPN rights. They know how many people can go in that bar. That's how they base the pricing off. And
Oh
then
yeah.
they have every household and anybody's got ESPN paid for, and how many people regularly tune in to Sunday Night Football. They've
That
got
reminds
all
me.
those.
I don't even know what channel the game's on. It's on ABC and CBS.
Let's
I guess it's
see.
CBS. It says ABC is not available in my area. So
It.
cable wise, it's CBS. But remember, you got all the different streams. You got YouTube and all that.
That's funny. It says ABC not available in my area too. It'll be on CBS for us. But we got Fubo. We have Paramount Plus. We've got it all, so we can.
Well, if you have NFL Premium, I think you get the NFL package. No. It goes the other way. If you buy the NFL package, you get NFL Premium or something like, or YouTube Premium. It's one of the two.
It's you can
I can't remember which way it
bundle
goes.
you can bundle your YouTube Premium with the NFL Plus and get the NFL Premium or something like that.
Yep.
I've got NFL Plus. It was actually quite nice.
So they're kicking off at 4:30 because that's Mountain Time, and so if it's 5:30 for me Central Time,
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes
uh,
earlier than what I'm used to it being.
that's always 5:30. But it's not
Is
gonna
it?
kick off at 5:30. It's gonna be like, all this national anthem, welcome both teams. Here's the Hall of Fame. That's the Hall of
Yeah, they'll
So the
probably
whole
actually kick
it
off at like
starts at
5:40.
5:30. The kickoff's like 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Like that's just when the Super Bowl events happen. You know what I mean? Like
right.
this show started kicking off.
So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting faux show.
Yeah, I don't know. They should just keep out the one game you don't want media. That game,
The one game that you don't want what?
media timeouts.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, and media timeouts, as in like you're gonna have just a natural media timeout every quarter. No one calls a timeout. There's no stoppage of play. It's just media timeout. Then you're gonna have after a field goal or after a touchdown or after the kickoff or after a punt, anytime there's a chance of possession, there's a field goal or a commercial. So, like, I get NFL players are tired because they go a million miles an hour every play. I get that, but there's so many media timeouts in the game. You know what I mean? It's just like, God. The only
very true.
the only reason why you wouldn't have me. Now, I don't know I don't know if people track this, but I like to see the data for the last 10 years of how many commercials were in a Super Bowl. Because think about it, you only can do a commercial with a stoppage of play. What if the game is running smoothly? There's not a lot of incomplete passes. There's not a lot of drive killers. People are just scoring, or they're just having long, sustained 15-yard drives or 15-play drives. So, like, there's not a lot of opportunity to cut the commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not, like, the clock's running, the drives aren't stalling. There's action on the field. They're not going through and out, or you're scoring so much that you're always kicking off at stoppage to play. That would be interesting. Yeah, this is the least amount of. So, like, what do people do if they have a Super Bowl commercial time slot and they just didn't have a chance to show your commercial because the game was going on? I don't know. There's got to be contingency plans for decades for that kind of thing. Because I guess there's only so many people that have a commercial. Let's say there's only so many slots. Let's say, there's only 25 commercials this season. Well, what if you don't get through all 25? What if you only can do like 17? This is the way the game flowage is.
Brandon, that lightsaber you just sent me is $400.
Well, good thing we're gonna get monetized.
Yeah, that's what I'd spend the money.
Is that the one that Star Wars Theories makes?
Yeah, those are his sabers.
Yeah, I know he only does like a certain limited amount.
So he does is it Anakin, a Vader, and an or is it Anakin, a Obi-Wan, and then like a blacked out Vader that shows the Kyber crystal?
He only makes like a dozen or whatever. Cause I'd like his videos. Oh, guys, I want to make 10.
Well, some of them are limited edition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna throw my marbles at the Niners.
I just want to see the Super Bowl Vegas prop bets for how many times are they gonna pan over to Taylor Swift? Over under 20 times in the.
Oh,
how
definitely
many times are they gonna
over.
say Taylor? How many times are they gonna say Taylor Swift? Is she gonna be Is she gonna be on the podium for the winning?
They already have Vegas prop bets if
Chiefs.
she's gonna get asked.
Yes or no?
If she's gonna be proposed to or not.
You get married. Yeah. And is Travis Kelce going to say anything to or about her on the podium if the Chiefs win? It's not necessarily on the podium. Like, all these Taylor Swift prop bets are awesome. Like which seat is she going to be sitting in? Like which NFL suite is she going to be in?
So did you hear that the Kelce mom isn't going to be sitting with her in the booth?
Oh, isn't?
Yeah, she's going to be sitting in the stands.
Oh, yeah, because shoot, you still, even though you're Travis Kelce, you still pay for the suite.
Well, so she probably can't afford them.
Oh yeah, dude. NFL should just gave her one. They're gonna. She's gonna bring in more revenue for them than actually paying for the suite. But I don't think the NFL gets the suite money. I think the Raiders do. Allegiant Stadium. I don't think the NFL would profit.
I think they get the game admission cut. I don't think they get any money based on how much it cost.
No. But I don't know. It's NFL and it's the Super Bowl. But whatever that suite costs, Taylor Swift's going to bring in 10 times.
All I know was like 2 or 3 seasons ago when the Chiefs played the Eagles and Jason Kelce's wife and daughters and I think mother-in-law were there. It cost the 4 of them like $50,000 to get those 4 seats.
Oh, did you see the thing? It was like, this is what 2.5. I think ESPN posted it. This is like what $2.5 million gets you. Sweet. They showed what it is. Now I don't know if I doubt every suite's the same. I think there's different suite prices, but I think they
for
just
sure.
showed one that costs 2.5 million.
Right.
But it's nothing extravagant. Yeah, there's extravagant stuff in it, but they're just literally charging overpriced things for regular things. Now I'm not saying they're going to eat
To be
hot dogs
fair,
at the
other
gas
than the
station,
contents
but it's
inside
still
the
a hot
room,
dog.
it's probably not that much difference than rice sweets
But the
at a
Allegiant
state.
Stadium suite is still going to be the Allegiant Stadium suite. So
Right.
they're going to bring in a whole different. It's the suite that Allegiant Stadium has. But they're talking about the food and like I get the food's going to be really nice. Like there's like wow.
What? Brandon, we lost you. Earth to Brandon. Houston, we have a problem. Well, damn, we done lost this bitch. Up, do we got him? Brandon, do you come in, Brandon? If I were to go. Brandon, scanning for a Brandon.
Oh.
Hey, there you are.
Wi-Fi kicked out.
Yeah, you said it's going to be pretty good food, but nothing special. Hope to lose you again.
Here?
Oh, there you are.
My Wi-Fi kicked out.
Yeah, I got that. But yeah,
We'll just edit later because no one's going to be listening to this but me. So.
But yeah, long story short, they're just going to be the same old press boxes you got in any other game, and it's probably still the exact same.
The Super Bowl is just an event. I bet you only like I don't know half the people tune in and actually watching it for the game. The other half are just tuning in because it's the Super Bowl. You know, the NFL.
And then you got a bunch of crazy high schoolers that tune in just to watch the commercials.
I mean, you think about it. The NFL, you don't have to be a football star or a fan to even watch the game. It'd be fun to go to the Super Bowl and not even watch the game because there's all the events going on in the game.
I can't remember how long ago. It could have been 10 years ago now. But I remember there was a Super Bowl that there was more people were on average viewing the broadcast during the commercials than they were the actual game.
Now, I wonder, not the legal streams, but the legal ones. I wonder if the legal ones had the same commercials.
I mean, usually people pirating it, so they get it all.
No, I mean the legal ones. I mean, like you're watching on YouTube or you're paying. I don't know. You're watching CBS streamed. Like, I wonder if the online commercials are the same as the cable ones.
For something like this, you would, yes. Well, and if you're watching it on Fubo or Paramount, you're getting the same commercials as you would watching it on cable or on satellite.
Yeah. I just think the refs should just let them play. You only got to call something if it's freaking crazy oblivious. Like, not, like last year's ticky-tacky thing. Like, oh, the Chiefs got lucky because they called a hold, defensive holding on the receiver at the end of the game, but it did not impede his route running. Like, he didn't slow down, he didn't trip and fall. Like,
true, yeah.
What did you call to the book of the? But people, it's a preferencing. Do you call to the textbook because technically it was a hold, but he didn't impede his progress. But you gotta let people play. That's me. Just let them play.
Disagree.
Now, just don't have this. Just don't have obvious. Yeah, that's a hold, man.
My biggest thing is they need to call the games across the board. If you're going to call it like that on one side, call it on both sides.
Yeah, but all these penalties are subjective. There's not like there's one way of holding. There's multiple. There's a million.
My thing is I've always said they should get holding out of the game. If you are strong enough to grab onto a thick ass motherfucker and sit your ass down and keep him from moving, you should be able to.
Yep.
I think people should be able to turn into fucking boat anchors out there.
Yep, but it wouldn't be good for the average viewer because they want to watch 7-on-7.
They want to watch Patty Holmes run around in circles.
Well, I do with the spring league or whatever league was going on when I was at Arkansas State, I'd go to Memphis to watch a game.
Oh,
Only
hell yeah.
50 away. Like that, like I'd go.
I think we're going to try to watch the Memphis Showboats playing at the Battlehawks.
Now, are they only playing games? Are they playing games in their own cities? Or are they playing like with the USFL? They only playing at one or two different
No,
stadiums.
they're playing at their own stadiums.
Because I remember the XFL. I think the teams only traveled to play in their quote home game or away game, but everyone stayed. It was like the USFL. Everyone stayed locally at one local place to practice and house and stuff. Because
So
I remember
XFL.
like coach. I remember watching the one game. And Bob Stoops went to Wade Phillips, and he's like, "Man, I'll see you back at the place." And they were talking about the hotel.
I
You know what I
think
mean? That
so.
they stayed at.
USFL last year, they played their whole first season at the
Yeah, in
same
Birmingham.
stadium. Yeah.
At Birmingham. But the year after, two teams would split one stadium.
Yes.
Like Detroit Lions had two teams. I think the Battlehawks had two teams. But I know the XFL had their own stadiums. I get that because you saw a different location every time. But I don't know about the living conditions.
No,
Like,
because
is
I know the
everyone living
Battlehawks.
together?
The Battlehawks had their own stadium. Nobody else was playing there. The Steamboats had their own place.
But
Nobody
that was
else
the
was playing
XFL.
there.
USFL had
Oh,
multiple
true.
teams
Right,
sharing
right.
multiple fields or the same field.
But I'm pretty sure the Showboats only had one team at their stadium. I don't think anybody else played at Memphis. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I can't remember. I just know that first season there they all played at Birmingham.
Yeah. Oh, it's for cost.
And then
I
I
like.
think the XFL, their first season right there that started at the beginning of COVID. I think they played the
Mhm.
first weekend all at one stadium.
Yep.
I remember last year, the Memphis Showboats, but we almost went to it. We just weren't able to get the time off to go. But they, for their starting game, well, they did their inaugural season for the USFL too. But their starting game, all tickets, regardless of location, were like $10 or $15 a piece, and everyone got like a box of donuts and coffee that walked in.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty awesome. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I'm excited for the XFL, USFL. It's going to be neat to see them merged, even though I'm missing the teams.
I hope it stays and grows
I
because
do
it
too.
needs to because NFL can't monopolize professional football.
And
It's too big of a sport. Like
yeah,
name
and
another sport that has 22 guys on the field, a full equipment staff, a full trainer staff, a full video staff, a full analyst staff. Like there's just too many people to like, and it opens up so many opportunities and jobs. It's just like everyone can't make the NFL. Whether you're a trainer or equipment manager, graphic designer, you can't have only one spot in college.
right.
You can't
Well,
have it. You got to have multiple because now there's more revolving doors for opportunities. Spring league,
it's true.
NFL, and college. You got and the CFL still. So you got more stuff. Like
Well, and
it
then
all stays here. It all stays in America. It all
there's
stays
the UFFL that's
regionally.
trying to get started.
Like the UFL, like regionally, the people are loving it. Like NFL is looking like, oh, we just want money, money, money. But like all these people in the USFL and the XFL, the local stadiums or the local cities and towns, they're loving it because
Oh,
all the
absolutely.
players they do so much community outreach. They do a lot. It's not like go read a book for a freaking kid. I hate that kind of stuff. But
So
like they're hosting like barbecue events or they're hosting like they're hosting like fun player meet and greet stuff. Like the regional communities are banking on that stuff because people going out to eat in the bars and just doing stuff. Like it's an event.
what is what's the there's the oh, it's not the I keep wanting to say
Oh, the
UFFL.
Mar1 MVP. That's funny. Even though it's a regular season award, I get it. That's crazy.
What's the other the Canadian style football team or football league that was trying to start up?
What do you mean? There's only one CFL team.
Well, there's a US. It was like the UFFL or something like that.
They had the AAF, and that was a complete poop show.
Well, it was a
Yeah,
bunch of the arena football teams turned into this league, but they haven't started yet because they had the Arkansas
I
Twisters in it.
know.
Arkansas.
Oh, there's
Oh,
so many small AFL indoor leagues because the Arena Football League is back. The AFL, but the AFL is not going to be what it used to be. The only legitimate indoor football league is the IFL, and
so the
that's been around for a long time, decades.
Arkansas Twisters used to be a indoor football league, but they transferred to um, they
Any other
switched.
league's not a legitimate league. They're just hodgepodge put together. It's not professional whatsoever. IFL is the only legitimate indoor football league. Maybe the NFL or the AFL, but any other local league, arena league, they're not real.
So
Or
this wasn't.
not real. They're not legitimate. They don't like. They're not. No one's going to claim them. They're like dudes working at Home Depot made up them.
Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so the Arkansas Twisters joined the United Football League. It was a CFL style league in the US, but when the XFL and the USFL merged, they took the name.
Yeah, they probably didn't have it trademarked, or maybe the trademark,
It was, I think they
uh,
bought it.
or the trademark was up.
I think they bought it.
MVP in NFL is overrated. You can't name one guy as important. It's just impossible. Like you can say Trent Williams for the 49ers is an MVP.
It's funny if you go to the Arkansas Twisters website, they're over on Twister News over on the right. 13 days ago, they have test 3, test 4, test 5
Yeah.
with stuff that says breaking news placeholder. It's funny. It's been a minute since I've been on their website because oh they did a whole draft and everything a year ago.
Oh, Chris McCaffrey actually. I guess they had NFL honors at Las Vegas because I thought the NFL honors were held at a different spot than the Super Bowl. I thought because usually the guys at the NFL honors tend to go because they're in the Super Bowl. They can't just leave. And that's interesting. At least I think that's where it was the last few years.
It's funny, a lot of the stuff on this site doesn't actually work. Their merch shop isn't even up.
Like I said, it's like any people can start up an arena football league, but it's going to be just some backyard
It's
backyard. But if you go to the
it's not
IFL,
arena anymore.
yeah,
Arkansas Twisters used to be arena. When arena
yeah,
football ended in the U.S., they went dormant for a little while, and then they joined the UFL, which is no longer the
UFL's
UFL.
doing it the right way though, because you're getting former NFL guys like not college, not just coaches, but like actual execs know how to run a tryout. They know how to run a regional camp. They know how to run things. You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
have people who's done this stuff. They're not some hodgepodge put together. Hey, I own a coffee shop and I'm going to be one of the owners in the league. No, these are done by real guys who've been in it. They're just not in NFL. You know. That's what makes the NFL. That's what makes the USFL and the XFL legitimate. It's ran by legitimate people who've done this shit before. Not like the AAF. That thing was just put together by just a bunch of greedy people, like evicting players from the hotel room and making them pay for it. Come on, man. That's what you hear in the IFL and the Indoor Football League when it used to be like really bad. But no, XFL USFL is really good. Because remember, Chris was working for the USFL the last 2 years, not necessarily for them, but working with them. And he was saying it was legit.
See if I can send this to you.
It'd be cool if they had a team in KC though, but I don't know what they would play. I don't think they would be interfering with the Chiefs at all.
I just sent you a tweet.
You're blocked, so I don't get it.
Sure I am.
Oh, are they really called the UFL?
They were the UFL before the UFL is now.
Oh, so it's an old tweet.
This was March 6th of last year.
Yeah, this is a defunct uh page.
They got a
No,
lot
but
of
they
hype and it was all getting started, but I don't think they ever kicked off
well
the first game.
the XFL and the UFL do it. Their transaction page go really, really well. I mean, it's been a thing. It's not like something that's
Right.
new. They've always, ever since the XFL came back, their inception. You know
Well,
what I mean?
so that was the funny thing. The UFL is almost as old as the XFL is. Because it used to be the UFL and the XFL who played together, and
Yep.
they they broke apart. The XFL, I think, went under first. Then the UFL finally died out when the NFL started getting very popular. Well, the NFL took teams away from the UFL and the XFL. Like, there was a handful of teams that started in the XFL and the UFL. And then I think the USFL, they merged and became the USFL for a little
This
bit.
stuff's starting in March, so they're starting next month. So I mean, football's here.
No, that was March of last year.
Oh, I thought they started March this year.
Wait, the Arkansas
Talking the
Twisters?
league. No, right now. No,
Oh,
not
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking the UFL. It starts next month in
Yeah,
March.
they kick off the end of March.
Yep.
I wish. Okay, now with the new creation of the UFL and the old UFL falling apart, gives me a little bit of hope that we might end up with
I
more
wonder what
league
rules they're
teams.
gonna go with.
I think they're going to go more. Now they were very similar.
USFL had the cool one. You gotta go for 3.
I think they're going to keep that. Let's see, which
You can go for
rules?
1, 2, or 3. That's awesome. Because how many 10-point games do you have in NFL? A lot. Well, now you can at least get 9 points.
So let's see.
Oh, I like the US. I don't know if the XFL had it, but USFL had the thing where like you could only onside kick in the fourth quarter only if you were down.
No, it
Within
was
like
if you were
certain amount of time.
if you were at the end of the second quarter or the fourth quarter and you were losing.
Oh, it's the second quarter too.
Yeah, it's the second quarter too. You could go for it after you got the
You
extra
had the
point.
choice to go 4th and 15 or something like
It
that.
was like 4th and 15 or 4th and 25
on your own 30.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most people chose to do that because that's technically a higher percentage chance in kicking the ball.
Oh yeah, 100%.
People were doing it,
And people were getting it too.
and people were hyped about it, like yeah. But that could turn into a sponsorship. Hey guys, we have our Arby's 4th and 15 play of the game right now, because it's very specific.
Let's see, UFL League rules.
It should be up. I'm just gonna wait till the first broadcast. We're gonna announce it.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh yeah, Antonio Gates did get snubbed. Jeez Louise, that's not even funny. Who I would have taken out though? That's hard.
So apparently there's a chance that the XFL kickoff will not make its way over to the UFL. There's talk that the USFL's version of pushing back kickoff to the 20-yard line, which ensures good field position and returns, remains doesn't address it. Because I think the USFL still had a more traditional kickoff.
Yeah. How many games am I gonna be tuning in for it? I don't know, but
Last year, I watched every single game of the XFL.
mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I'm looking at the USFL week by week data of the average advantage starting field position of each week of the USFL last year.
Uh-huh.
The season low average was week 4 at the 36-yard line. Yeah, the USFL had a very NFL like more traditional kickoff.
Here we go. 10, 10, 10,
10, 10, 10.
Hey, he can still.
You want to go last two?
No. We got time, Bart. We only need about 20 yards. Let's go sail to start.
That'd be interesting. I haven't really been keeping up with it other than the league, but I haven't been keeping up with the rules. Like I don't know how postseason works. I don't know how the championship game works. So I just figure it out as the game goes on.
And then I can't remember. Did the USFL have some more like extra options to go for it, like the XFL did?
Yeah. I mean, no. Most of the rules were within the same. I think it was just the going for 3 rules different.
I want
I
to
can't
say,
remember.
let's see, USFL extra points.
You can go for 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, okay, so they did the same as the XFL.
Had the 4th and 15. Was it USFL that had the 4th and 15, or was it the XFL?
I can't remember.
Both are pretty. Let me say this: both leagues had better rules than the NFL. Let's put it that way.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Let's see, what did the XFL do then? Okay, so the USFL and the XFL did the same for the 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, they both did? Okay.
Yeah. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think the only difference was I think the USFL allowed for a field goal if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if the defense scores, yeah, I think they had the same PAT options. Anyway,
For this year.
so I bet you they keep that going into the UFL. They'll keep that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very interesting to see what is the same and what is different.
I wonder how they did the pay scale for the coaches and the players.
Like which one is more accurate to what it was the season
Well,
before?
I don't know like what it is right now. Like I wonder what the UFL pay scale is because there's not like contracts. Everyone gets pretty much paid the same. So there's no like salary cap. Now I guess.
Well, and most people
like
are just paid by salary. Then other than like they're not paid.
And I
like
think a
X
lot of
amount.
them are. I think a lot of them are incentive based too.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, your starting quarterback should get more money than your backup, tailback or your backup linebacker. But there's still a pay scale. So
You should apply to go work for the UFL.
they didn't have any openings. I checked.
Let's see.
And they didn't even announce any. Like, usually they announce that stuff in my video group, but they didn't even announce any
I
stuff.
think they had enough people between the 8 teams that all merged that they
Just
probably
Chris
had
would
it
have
all
told
covered.
me. Yeah, because Chris would have told me all the stuff, and plus, I tried to do that last year, but one of the teams said they just need a filmer, and it wasn't a full-time job, and those guys usually outsource. Well, I don't even know because I think Chris told me because XFL was Exos and the USFL was DB, and they had a contract through him for like 3 years or something like that. And I think he
Right.
said the UFL teams are still going to be contracted and use DB Sport, and the XL teams are just going to stay using that.
Right.
I wonder who's
They're
gonna,
still separate. Like they're not. The merger was a a league thing. It wasn't a like it's still two separate businesses.
Yeah, like the NFL, there's no league mandate what you use for film, but I mean
Right.
there is, but no team would be dumb enough to go either XOs or DB out of either of those. But I'll just say that I wonder what replay system they're going to use because USFL had DB Rewind, and they both had the live iPad rewind stuff. The live
Yeah.
coaches came on their iPads. And the XFL had a totally different system. Their iPads were like hooked up with like antennas. This shit looked like rigged in the basement. It was kind of cool looking, like a gadget, but like it was totally a separate system. So I wonder. It's just stuff like that I'm gonna be watching for during the game because it'd be interesting to see which replay system they're using.
Right.
Tablet system, I should say. I wonder. I think the rules are still gonna be the same. They're gonna have someone buzz down for live, ref replays, and I think they're gonna have a minute to do it. I think both teams had a minute to do it. But the thing I liked about it though, you had a live stream of a minute saying what it should or shouldn't be. They're talking about it.
Well, I'm excited for it. I'll be definitely watching a bunch of it.
I'm more excited for that than the Super Bowl.
100%. That's what I was saying. That was my hot take of the episode. I'm more excited for it than the Super Bowl.
Well, we'll get the memes ready if the Chiefs lose. We'll send it to Easton.
I'm sure you will.
He probably won't even look at the phone.
No shit. No shit.
Oh, what's the Super Bowl plans? Just watching it at your house?
Yeah, I think Zach and his wife are going to come over. We're going to watch it. I don't know if anybody else is going to be making it.
Drunk by halftime.
I'm going to take the Taylor Swift shot challenge every time she's seen on screen or mentioned. I'll take a shot.
I really don't drink during the Super Bowl. I haven't drank during the Super Bowl in a long time because
if you did that though, you'd be wasted halfway through the first quarter.
Well, like I'm here to enjoy the Super Bowl and watch it, not to be
right.
You know what I mean? Like I drank during the Super Bowl last year or 2 years ago, but I was just like drinking like maybe 2 beers for the whole Super Bowl. Like I want to sit and enjoy it, not
right.
Like
I'll have a couple beers.
Whoa. I hate that. I'm here to enjoy the Super Bowl.
I'll black out the night before.
It's like, how do you know what's going on? It's like, I just missed a big play because I'm drunk.
I don't even remember the whole second half.
Where am I?
What room am I staying in?
Well, to be honest, chat, if you're a real gamer, you're going to be playing video games on the Super Bowl. There's going to be, there's still going to be like millions and millions of people on playing video games on the Super Bowl.
No
like
shit.
a ton.
No
like there's still going to
shit.
be like people making content. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Wake up, brother, gonna rise with the sun.
I don't blame him.
Step two.
Well,
Some good, some food.
Well, this is it for season 1 of the Sports Tent.
Everybody just
We season 1, season 2, whatever you want to call it.
This is the last hurrah.
It's the finale of the season.
Well, might as well delete the YouTube channel right after this because no one's gonna go to it.
We
on the network
will, at the very least, start back up for college next year. And I might do a little bit here and there for the UFL League just because I think it's fun and exciting. And I might do a little episode or 2 talking about the Olympics just because they're fun. We did that last time, that was fun. But I don't care enough about baseball to talk about it. I don't give a shit about the NBA.
sports.
March Madness is its own thing, so fuck it. But yeah, well, this will be it for a minute. Don't know when we'll get back around, but when we do, you'll know if you watch, when you watch, or how you watch. So yeah, we'll bring it back eventually. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause the sense